Hello and welcome back to the Forward Academy Maths YouTube channel. This video is on highest common factor. A few notes first of all to start off before we go into it. If you find in other videos on the internet, this can be called the greatest common factor, often in American videos, but some schools do use greatest common factor. You need to start off with a good base knowledge of what a factor is. If you're struggling with what a factor is, then there's a link in the top right of this video right now to a video on factors and multiples. The link will also be in the description below. Let's jump into it. The highest common factor of two or more numbers is the largest number that can divide the numbers without any remainder. There are two methods for finding the highest common factor, by listing or by finding the prime factors and then using a Venn diagram type method. I'm going to show you both. Most people have a preference, but try to be comfortable with both. So method number one is by listing the factors and then picking the highest factor that's common to both lists. So the factors of 24 are all listed here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12 and 24. These are the factors of 24. Again, if you need to recap on what factors are, there's a link in the description or there's a card in the top right corner to take you directly to that video. Just to recap very quickly though, 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8 and 4 times 6 all make 24. At this point you need to put them in order like the list has below. Next we're going to list all the factors of 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18 and 36. We're going to pick out any common factors to both lists and the highest one is the answer. So in this case the answer is 12. Let's have a look at how to use highest common factor using prime factorization. Again, prime factorization, there's a previous video on this, so there's a link in the description below, then also a card in the top corner of this video. So we're going to break down 24 into its prime factors and 36 into its prime factors here and here. So 24 can be written as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 and 36 can be written as 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. An important note at this point is don't put these into index form as it just confuses matters. To get the highest common factor from this method, all you need to do is pick out the common factors to both lists, 2, 2 and 3, and then times them together. 2 times 2 times 3, well 2 times 2 is 4, times by 3 makes 12. And as you can see, that's the same answer from the previous question, which is the same question. We haven't included the 2 and the 3 from here, as they haven't got a partner in the opposite list. So 2 partners with 2, 2 partners with 2. There isn't another 2 for this one to partner with, and there isn't another 3 for this one to partner with, and then you got this nice pair here. Let's have a look at another example, finding the highest common factor of 48 and 60. I'm going to use both methods so you can see live what's happening. So the first method is called listing. So I'm going to list all of the factors of 48 and then all of the factors of 60. So let's go for all the factors of 48 first. Try and use a ruler as it does make it look a lot nicer, but I haven't got one. So I've got 1 times 48, 2 times 24, 3 times 16, 4 times 12, and then 6 times 8. I'm just going to put some commas between them to separate them out so they look nice and separated. So let's have a look at the factors of 60. 60, again, it's got quite a lot of factors, so you can do 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, and 6 times 10. So I'm going to separate them in commas, just so I don't get confused and call this one 56, for example. Make sure I can see all the factors. In your GCSE paper, it'd be really nice to spread these out and use all of the width of the paper. I'm limited to the width of the screen at the moment, but in your GCSEs, you will have plenty of space. The next thing we need to do is identify all of the common factors of 48 and 60. So common means same, so the same factors of 48 and 60. For example, 1 is a common factor as it's in both lists. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Let's have a quick look and make sure that there aren't any missing. Perfect. A good technique previously is to put these in orders so it's really easy to see. For example, that 5 isn't up here, 24 isn't down here. And then the last thing to do is to pick the highest common factor. 12. So just to recap this method, if you put HCF, highest common factor, then it's like going backwards. The first thing we're going to do is find the factors of the number, and then we're going to find the common ones, and then we're going to pick the highest, and that's going to be the answer. The second method. So we're going to find the prime factors of 48 and 60 using our prime factor decomposition method from the previous video, or that you might already know. So 2 times 24, 2 is prime, 2 times 12, 2 is prime, and then 2 times 6, 2 is prime again, and 2 times 3. 2 is prime, and 3 is prime. 60. 2 times 30, 2 is prime, 2 times 15, 2 is prime, and 3 times 5, and both of those are prime. So there's two ways to approach the next part of this question, with this method. You can write them out like this, 48 and 60, and then list them 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 5. Then highlight the ones that are in both lists. Remember to do it in pairs, so that's a pair, that's a pair, and that's a pair. And then multiply them together. So this pair is a 2, and then there's another 2, and then there's a 3 from this pair, and this pair. And then 2 times 2 is 4, times by 3 equals 12. So that's the correct answer. Another way is to use a Venn diagram. So a Venn diagram sorts out information into what's unique to something and then what's common to something. So for example, all the factors of 48 are going to go in this big circle, all the factors of 60 are going to go in this big circle, and any that are shared between them can go in this section here, which is called an intersection. Now I'm going to start moving these into their relevant positions in pairs. So the first number I'm going to put in is 2. And that is going to be this 2 from here and this 2 from here. So that pair of 2s has moved over here to be this 2 here. I'm going to do the same with another 2 and cross them off. 2 here, and the 2 here. And then also the 3 can go in the middle. And then anything that's left over needs to go into its relevant position. So on this side, on the 48 side, I've got a 2 and a 2. So I can put those in, 2 and 2. And then for the right hand side of the circle, for the 60, I've got the number 5 left on its own over here. And then to find the highest common factor, all I need to do is multiply together anything that's in this intersection part here. So I'm going to multiply together 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, times by 3 is 12, which is the same answer that I have from before. This method of splitting down the number into a product of its prime factors and then creating a Venn diagram works for any pair of numbers to find the highest common factor of those numbers. You're now in a great position to start on the questions in the booklet. As always, if you do have any issues or problems, please either post onto the Microsoft Teams wall or email your teacher directly. All of our email addresses are on the school website. Thank you.